Hello, guys. Happy Thursday. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. Hold on one second. Okay, let me make sure I hope that everybody's doing good today. We are at another end of the week. I can't believe it. It kind of came so fast. But, well, it might be fast to me. It may not be fast to everybody, but nonetheless. It is the end of the week, and we are in our fifth week of talking about our strengths, unlocking our genius. That's what we're talking about tonight. It's supposed to be a 4 week series for Thought for Thursday, and it turned into five because we had a few more things to talk about. And I apologize to my Instagram group over here. For some reason, things are looking a little different. See if I can adjust our camera here. I think that might be a little better, maybe, kind of, sort of. Yeah, okay. At any rate, so welcome. We are finishing up tonight talking about unlocking our genius in order to be able to excel and to do our absolute best. We need to know what our strengths are, right? We need to know what our weaknesses are too, but definitely our strengths because we need to know how to capitalize on them. So identify them and capitalize on them. All right. So we've gone through 9 steps over the past few weeks, and I encourage you to go back and take a look at those steps. And I encourage you to download the worksheet, and I'll be sure to include the link for that. Download the worksheet, and you can get to it by the link here on the screen. And when we're finished over here on Instagram, I'll be sure to jot it in the comments section. But definitely be sure that you take a look at the worksheet because it's going to help to reinforce those things that you need to be aware of when you are trying to identify your strengths and when you are moving in them. All right. So, again, we talked about steps up to 9. And tonight, step 10, discover what you dislike. We've talked about everything else, right? We've talked about identifying your passions, asking others for input, evaluating requests that people regularly, make of you. That's one way of finding out what your strengths are, determining which qualities you most admire in yourself. Find your flow state. What it is that you do that comes so naturally that you just kind of flow in it. Identify role models, people that you really admire as a role model, very well may have characteristics or strengths that are also yours. And that's why you identify with them so well. Discover what interests you. That was number 9. Evaluate your upbringing. Highlight your successes. You're looking at your successes, chances are there's a strength in that success somewhere, at least one of them in there. So tonight we're talking about discovering what you dislike. Yes, again, it's important to know what you like, but you also want to know what it is that you really don't like so much because that is definitely an area that is probably not a real strong area for you. That's not something that you're really strong in. So, what sorts of tasks do you highly dislike? That's something you may want to look at. That points to definitely something that you're not really particularly excited about. This task, doing this task, or performing this operation, or doing this chore, whatever it is, maybe something that is definitely not a strength. That may be why you don't like it. What would you delegate if you could? Now that's something that you definitely want to look at because not probably not a real strength for you, something that you really don't like doing. Or I kind of differ with that one a little bit because sometimes people delegate things just because it is outside of the amount of energy they have or the amount of time that they have. But look at it as though if it were something that you really could do, why is it that you're delegating that? Okay. That may point to something that you really don't like, something that really may not be a strength of yours. When do you find yourself procrastinating? I can definitely identify that, some areas where I'll start to procrastinate with things. And it is because, yeah, I don't know if it's so much that I'm not really good at it. It's just that, I just am not excited about doing it. Yeah. So so sometimes it does point to something that's not a real strength for me, depending on what I'm procrastinating about. And other times it's just that I don't want to do it. So again, these are things that you can look at. They may not always be spot on, but they're definitely things that you can look at and kind of determine, you know, do I dislike this because I really don't feel strong in it, or is there another reason behind it? Same with procrastination. What tasks give you the most trouble? Again, another area that may point to something that you're not real strong in. And when do you find yourself most frustrated? Definitely something that may point to things that you really just don't like. You're frustrated because you don't want to deal with them, because you really don't like them, or you really don't feel as though it's an area that you're real strong in. So, those are some things that you may want to think about when we're talking about looking at what you dislike as a way of determining where your strengths are. Step 11, all right? List your proudest accomplishments. What is it that you are truly, truly proud of doing? And what I encourage you to do is make a list of about 10 things that you've accomplished throughout the course of your life that you're really proud of. Take a look at those things. Why are you proud of doing them? You know, is it something that you did really well? If you're proud of it, chances are you did it really well. Is it something that you really feel that it is a real strength of yours and something that you may want to repeat? Something that you may want to make a pretty consistent piece of your life? What is it that you do very well? Um, I'm trying to see. I had a list of things that I was going to ask you about, and so that it will prompt my memory. Okay. I don't see them. I remember a few of them. What is something again that you're proud of? Something like you taught yourself something. You're self-taught in a skill set like, I don't know, Photoshop or a computer skill set. What about you wrote a book? I know that's something that I was really proud of as well. The fact that I wrote a book, and since then I've written several, and that's something that I'm really proud of. Proud of not just because I accomplished that, but because it really kind of showed me an area where I did have more strength than I gave myself credit for. Because of some bad experiences early on in writing, I figured I just wasn't good at it. But I really hadn't given myself a chance, nor did I write the right thing. So, writing is something that I'm definitely proud of, and something that is proving to be, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Okay, let's put it that way. I'm stronger than I thought I was in that area. Perhaps you created a really nice website. You figured out that you were technical and you didn't know that. And you're really proud of that. That may be a strength of yours. You climbed a mountain. Let's say we're doing something athletic, or you have reached some type of certification in teaching some type of sport or teaching some type of exercise program. All examples of things that you're really proud of, things that you really feel good about accomplishing. And chances are it could be something that really is a strength for you. All right. So, what are we looking at next? We're up to step 12. Step 12, analyze your values. That will definitely point you in the direction of determining where your strengths lie. What is it that is of value to you? How do you figure out where your values are? Many of us already know them. But here are a few things that may help you in case you're kind of stumbling and trying to figure it out. So, what things are most important to you? Definitely something that you want to identify as a value. They're most important to you for a reason. Okay. It's something that you really hold dear, something that you really stand beside. It's something that you value, something that may be a strength of yours. What else? What values define who you are? Now, that is an excellent one. What values define who you are? Because in that definition, you will probably see that there's a strength in there. It Your value is pointing to exactly who you feel you represent or who you are, what's important to you, the thread of your makeup, so to speak. That definitely points to an area that is strong for you because, again, it is a value. All right. How if you were going to hire a personal assistant? All right. You're trying to find values, remember? You're going to hire a personal assistant. What traits would you want them to possess? Chances are things that you value. So look at the traits that you would want them to have if you were going out to look for a personal assistant. You want them to be on time. You want them to be, someone who is very helpful, who thinks outside of the box. All things that may be important to you, maybe a value for you, maybe a strength for you. Trying to help you to kind of connect the dots on that analogy. So, what if you could change one thing in your community? What would that be? If you could change absolutely anything in your community, perhaps it could be the, I don't know, the crime rate, perhaps in your community. We live in a metropolitan area, and yeah, crime is a little bad, particularly in this area right now. Is that something that you're passionate about? Is that something that's of value to you? Is that something where you feel that you could really make impact? Is there something in that realm that you feel is a strength of yours? What about if you could get more of the community to come together to do, I don't know, to do cleanup? Is that something that is really important to you? Pointing to a value, pointing to something that could be a strength of yours as well. Anything about the community whatsoever that is important to you. Take a look at that and see where in that whole plane, in that entire spectrum, do you feel that you probably have a strength for something that is important to you in the community. So that's it, guys. We have gone through 12 steps over the past 5 weeks, 12 steps to help you to unlock your genius, help you to find what your strengths are. And why did we go through all of this? Because it is very important to know your strengths in order for you to be able to capitalize on them. And a life in which you are capitalizing on your strengths is a life that is enjoyable to you, a life where you feel that you're thriving. So, if you feel in any way that you've identified some strengths over the past 4 weeks that you really haven't been capitalizing on, or you've identified some strengths that really are pointing you in the direction of doing something that you haven't done before, doing something that's going to enable you to make your life better in some way, whether that be personally, whether that be professionally. If across these 4 weeks you've discovered anything that has definitely changed or something that's been revealed to you to make things better, you need to pursue those things. Capitalize on those things that you are strong in, those things that are strengths for you. Know what your weaknesses are and know how to maneuver around them and how to work with your weaknesses, not necessarily trying to put them in an area where you're going to try to act on them all the time because again it's a weakness. You don't want to consistently act on something that's your weakness and think that that's going to put you in a position where life looks good to you all the time. Life's not going to look good to you all the time anyway. but you get the gist of what I'm saying. You want to be able to move more in your strengths than you are in your weaknesses. Find ways to handle those weaknesses because, we can't avoid them. That's not what I'm saying. But you can definitely know where it is that you may need some support, okay, and seek support in those areas. And then definitely thrive in the areas where you have strengths. All right. So that's it for unlocking your genius. Now, if you need some support around how it is that you can take those strengths that you may have just discovered, take those strengths, use them in a way in which you can make life better. You can improve how you show up on your job. You can improve the type of career that you have. You can improve on the things that you do in your home, in your community, in your relationships. If you need support around any of those, please reach out to me. This is just an identification of a tool that will help you to get to the place where you need to get. There is more work to be done in actually getting to that place and actually knowing how to use those tools, using them to make you better, using them to help you to advance. And that's where I can come in and provide support to you, whether again that is personally and or professionally. Definitely reach out to me and I can be reached. And I just realized that my banner went away. However, I'll go ahead and just type it in here very quickly so that you can reach out to me and get the support that you need. And I can tell you about some of the things that are available, and we can go from there. So there's my email address, atucker@joleaseenterprises.com. Also, if you want to find out a little more about exactly what it is that is available to you, whether that be in coaching or in programs that I have, visit my website, joleaseenterprises.com. And in both of those places, via email that you send to me, I will definitely respond to you. And you can reach me from the website as well. If you go there and type in information that will get you to the contact page, you will also be able to get a response from me there as well. All right. So I tried to plug both of those things in there. So my website as well as my I put my actually I didn't do that. I don't multitask very well, as you can see. And I know that is a weakness of mine. And it's okay. I just try to maneuver it. Just don't multitask, okay? So let me do this and stop talking for a second so that you will be able to get this information. All right. So there it is. I put in my email address and my website. You can contact me again via the contact page on the website, or go ahead and reach me directly there via my email at atucker@joleaseenterprises.com. All right. And before I let you go, I wanted to let you know what we're going to go into next on Thought for Thursdays. So starting next week, we will be talking careers and making sure that you are choosing the right career for you. All right. So we'll talk all things career at least for 3 weeks, possibly 4, depending on exactly what else I put in that series. But that's up next. So be right back here. All right. Next week, as we start the new thing, which is careers. And careers encompasses a lot. It could be where you are right now and what you're doing. It could be something totally different as we hit a different place in our life. It could be entrepreneurship. It could be any number of things. Let's kind of talk about that a little over the next 4 weeks so that we can make sure that we are in the place that we need to be doing the things that we know are best. All right. That's it. Went a little over. I'm glad that you joined me for this series that we've had. I'm going to put up the URL one more time for you to go download that that worksheet if you desire. I'll also go over and plop it in here in the comments on Instagram. Be sure to download the worksheet because it's going to help to hold you accountable. It's going to make you sit down and write down those things that you need to look at when you're trying to discover your strengths, and then encourage you to go ahead and act on them. All right, that's it. Thank you again for joining Thought for Thursday. I encourage you, as I always do, to go out there and be courageously yourself, knowing that who you are is unique and you've got unique purpose, and God has a unique plan for you. No one else has that imprint that you have, and no one else can go out and make that mark in the world like you can. So go touch something, make it better, make it different just because you were there. That's it. All right. So everybody have a great Thursday. Prepare for a great Friday and a restful weekend. All right. Bye-bye.